Throughout the years, 7 Days to Die has gone through many changes. Graphics, the UI, design concepts, you name it. It's practically all been changed in some fashion throughout the years. In this video, we are going to take a look back through time at some of the big early turning points for the game. I'm Exotic Gaming, and I'll be taking us through these early alphas, which really had a different feel to them than what we currently see in the game's world. The bases, the zombies, the environment itself have all changed throughout this time. The game itself has been about survival and base defense since its inception. It's a story about a survivor in the Arizona desert after World War III has left the world in chaos. The survivor, being you, must explore what's left of the countryside and prepare to defend their base every 7th day. Currently on screen is Alpha 1 gameplay all the way back from 2013. The game performed so well on Steam Greenlight that it was somewhat rushed out to market in an official Alpha 1 version. As you can see, the UI and graphics are leagues different than what we have now. In the early days of 7 Days to Die, the devs highlighted a day-night cycle, crop growing, a story mode, environments, mining, animals, and crafting, which is a bit different than what we get now in the game, where things like a story mode, crop growing, and animals have all been simplified. As time marched on though, and the game became a bigger hit, updates to Alpha 1 were put out quickly. Alpha 1.1 introduced a burnt forest biome, nuclear wasteland biome, plain biome, and forest biome to the new game. It's pretty apparent the early game was inspired by Minecraft, especially when it came to the generated world, block shape, and crafting. However, as the alphas get released, 7 Days moves away from Minecraft-like features into its own identity. Block shapes get redone and crafting gets more simplified. With their game gaining tons of popularity, the devs decided to release an Alpha 2 later that same year. It included a multiplayer mode with deathmatch and a horde-style event. All these new players can now attack each other in a PvP-style mode. It's no surprise then that the game quickly became known as one of the most immersive and in-depth survival games on the market. The devs quickly coming out with alphas with new zombies and big updates furthered this case. The spider zombie and dog zombie variant are some of those new zombies included in Alpha 2. Skipping all the way ahead to Alpha 6, which was released 2 months later from Alpha 2, we get a host of new additions. The winter biome was added along with the first forge in the game. This winter biome was added above Dyersville, along with new POIs and a few new winter zombies, like the Lumberjack. The Lumberjack, who as far as I can remember was tough as hell to take down. As I mentioned, the forge was added in this update as well. With a whole new metal crafting and weapon breakdown system, players could finally now craft metal ingots at the forge and create a whole new amount of items. Some of these items included things like concrete and bullet crafting. As you could imagine, this led the way for a whole new base construction and defense. Players now had access to the new recipes for stronger doors like tungsten and more durable walls like concrete, which created a whole new idea for what a proper zombie base looked like. As we move along here, about as fast as these updates are getting released, Alpha 7 was released 1 month after the last one in February. Yeah, 1 month later. The claim block was introduced to multiplayer. Now players can lay claim to a zone of control and prevent less griefing. This being, as you can guess, one of the most desired items to be added to the game for a while. This update pushed the game farther away from the Minecraft vibe of the past into the current stage of the game we have now. The blocky terrain is starting to level off slowly throughout the updates, which create more of this realistic sense to the world. No more of the Minecraft jumping up every single block trying to get up that hill before the zombie gets you. Alpha 10 released in November of 2014 with much anticipation behind the brand new character creation system. The new customization let players morph their bodies however they please. Among other things, the zombie heat map system was introduced in the update, which really forced players to think about crafting in a new way. Bases for crafting and living were starting to be separated based on need. Do I want to risk smelting at my home base and having my stuff destroyed, or should I do this somewhere else? These are the type of questions being asked in Alpha 10. As you may have noticed as well, the minimap and UI have changed quite a bit. The minimap is gone and the compass is put in the middle of your tool belt. It's a little bit of a strange look in my opinion. I don't really like it personally. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments, or if you have any other fond memories of these alphas. In 2015, Alpha 11 brought with it the change to the Unity 5 engine. This came with a huge performance improvement for many players, while also causing more issues for others and more bugs. We are starting to get to a point where half of what an alpha does is fixes issues from the previous alpha. The quality range system for guns, armor, and tools was added in the alpha as well. The quality of the items obviously correlating to its damage and durability. This further just shows how far away the game is moving from the Minecraft direction, perhaps creating its own niche inside the survival marketplace. Finally, the dreaded Feral Wight was added to the game, creating an enemy to be feared even in daylight. Alpha 12, the big vehicle update, was released in 2015 and it let players finally build a mini bike. All you had to do was find the book and gather up all of the parts first. In the menu here, you put it all together and then presto, you got a bike. Kinda. The quality of the parts used to make the bike played a big role in how good said bike was for the player. As you can also see here, the smoothing of the world's blocks was needed to be completed prior to these vehicles being added to the game. On a side note, weather systems were also added to the game in this update, creating an opportunity to drive your brand new mini bike through a rain or snowstorm. I'm guessing the Unity 5 update mentioned earlier made this weather change possible. Alpha 13, released in 2015 shortly after Alpha 12 came out, included what we basically know today as the 7 Days to Die UI. The compass is moved to the top of the screen, thank God, and we got a new map. A world temperature system was added in the update as well, making clothing decisions even more impactful based on where you choose to live. This is where the game really starts to feel like the bare bones of what we have today. Hell, even new zombie animations and crippling effects were added in the update, not to mention the gathering while hitting effect and the wrench that was added as well. In totality, Alpha 13 is probably the most powerful push towards where we currently are in the game in terms of look and feel. Yeah, some zombie models don't look as polished, but the basics are there. You guys let me know if you feel the same way, or if there is another alpha you think makes the push more dramatically. In 2016's Alpha 14, we get the first announcement the game is coming out on console for the first attempt. Anyway, the update brought over 100 new POIs to the game and came with a new workbench and cement mixer, which also came with a plethora of new recipes for players to mess around with. As the game continues to get updated, the devs have been playing around with the quality of items as well. If you look on the hotbar, you can see this. This system continues to evolve, and hate it or not, it's not going to go away anytime soon. And we have made it all the way to Alpha 16, released in 2017. This update focused a lot on random gen and player advancement throughout the game, and with the dev time for these alphas getting longer and longer, the amount of pure information that is packed into each alpha is insane. With that said, at this point it's pretty fair to say that 7 Days has established its own niche within the survival genre. But what's it missing? Electricity! That's the big addition in this alpha. It comes with a full complement of crafting recipes as well. Things like traps and lights can now be used to defend and see around your horde base at night. This adds a whole new dimension to the game, almost like a whole new tech level in some other game. Alpha 17, released in 2018 for PC only. This alpha should probably be known as the vehicle alpha more so than 12, but that's besides the point. It's given us the bicycle, 4x4 Jeep, and the gyrocopter. If you take pride in your life, however, I would recommend practicing flying this contraption in creative mode before taking it out for your first spin in a real playthrough. Thank me later. Once again, I'm Exotic Gaming, and if you enjoyed this look back through time, please smash that like button. It really helps out the video, and I appreciate any of the support. If you want more 7 Days to Die content, check out the thumbnail at the end of the video. It should have a let's play or a big build tour. And I'll see you guys in the next video.